President Pranab Mukherjee and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have strongly condemned the attack on Army Convoy in Manipur, in which 18 soldiers were martyred and 11 others were injured. Condemning the attack, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar has assured that those responsible for the attack will be brought to book. In the aftermath of the attack, a high-level meeting was held in New Delhi to review the situation. It was attended by Home Minister Rajnath Singh, Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar and National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. An all-out offensive has been launched to trace the attackers. The attack took place yesterday when a team of 6 Dogra Regiment was on a road opening patrol as part of its daily routine along the Tegnopal New Samtal Road, which is about 80 kilometers from Imphal. Unidentified insurgent outfit first exploded powerful improvised explosive device and then attacked with rocket propellant guns. We're joined in by our correspondent Nandita Dagar for details. Nandita, we've just told our viewers and have given them a backgrounder as to what happened yesterday. Very quickly tell us, have any leads been established when we talk of the investigations?
The army and the security forces of the state of Manipur as well as the centre have rushed in special teams over there and para-commandos. It is the army has drawn lessons from this attack and obviously has strengthened its standard operating procedures, and now an all-out hunt for the terrorists who carried out this attack on the army convoy of 6 Dogra yesterday. A massive combing operation is going on in the jungles of Chandel. It is believed that there are the needle of suspicion is pointing to 2 terrorist groups. One is the NSCN-K, which is the National Socialist Council of Nagaland, Khaplang, which is a terrorist or insurgency group which is demanding cessation from the Indian state, and they want to establish. And also there is another one which is the KYP, and they are trying to establish a separate Naga state. Now, most of these terrorists want to carve out a separate Naga state from various North Indian states, including Nagaland, Manipur, as well as northern Myanmar. Now, the army, if you remember, Preeti, there was a major attack carried out in December last year, and the centre had given out orders to actually carry out hot pursuit of NFDB terrorists of the Songbijit section in Assam, and therefore the army was meeting with a lot of success in its operations against the National NDFB or National Democratic Front of Bodoland terrorists. At least 3 on an average were being either killed or either they surrendered or they were being apprehended and given to the state Assam police. Now the same has happened in Nagaland. It is actually the deadliest attack that has happened in over 2 decades. The last big attack that we can remember was in 1982. So the problem that it poses here is that the Naga, it could either be the umbrella group of the NSCN-K or the KYP or the UNLF, and the NSCN, National Socialist Council of Nagaland, K is the target here because they were the ones who actually walked out of peace talks with the Home Ministry last month. And,
all right.
Yes, and so there has been para-commandos are being rushed and in the jungle.
Yes, Nandita, you already talked about this para-commandos, but first also if you could give us an update on the casualty figures, how many of those personnel were martyred, and we believe that the army chief is also likely to visit Manipur today. Give us a confirmation on that.
Yes, Priyanka, 18 of our soldiers have been martyred and 11 have been injured. The injured have been airlifted to Nagaland Hospital. 18 is the figure from 6 Dogra battalion, and they are the ones. The army chief might visit Manipur today or tomorrow. But that his visit is certain. That is true. The army for now has now decided that they will be rushing in special teams of commandos to neutralize these terrorists, as they have done in lower Chirang forests of lower Assam. And in the same way, it will be carried out. Yesterday, the army chief, the Home Minister, the Defence Minister, and the National Security Advisor actually huddled together in North Block to decide a strategy for it.
Now, Nandita,
Yes.
Looking at the kind of weapons were used that in the attack, and like you talked about that meeting that took place yesterday, the high-level meeting, and we're talking about an all-out offensive here to nab those insurgents. What does that really entail?
Priyanka, it entails a lot of difficulties. First of all, the terrorists are actually, there is a porous border with Myanmar that Manipur shares, and also with other northeastern states like Nagaland and Assam. So the terrorists can move freely between these, and they can actually move borders. There is a lot of support, financial as well as in terms of logistical support in terms of weapons. That is believed that Pakistan and China had Pakistan till date, and China in the early 80s and the 90s had provided to these northeast secessionist terrorist organizations. And I think this would be one of the issues that would be high on, and even with Bangladesh, Prime Minister Modi is going to visit Bangladesh tomorrow. You know that, Priyanka. So I think this would be high on his agenda, because the porous border which poses a greater problem, and the safe havens that these terrorist organizations find in neighboring countries, the safe enclaves that they have, especially the Khaplang section, the NSC and Khaplang section, which finds there is one of the major concerns. But of course, yes, the major hunt is on for the jungle, in the jungles, for these terrorists right now.
All right, Nandita, we'll have to leave it there, but thanks so much for joining us with that update.
And for an update from the Home Ministry, we're now joined in by our correspondent Sudhakar Das. Sudhakar, we've told our viewers about the high-level meeting which was held yesterday. Also, Prime Minister has condemned the attack, and he has said that it was a mindless attack in Manipur, and that is very distressing. Very quickly, give us more updates and tell us more about any future meetings which have been lined up, and also what the gist of the meeting which was held yesterday.
जो गृह मंत्री ने बुलाई थी, जिसमें रक्षा मंत्री, आर्मी चीफ, एनएसए भी शामिल हुए थे। उसके बाद देर रात डिफेंस मिनिस्टर ने भी एक बैठक बुलाई थी, और निश्चित तौर पे जो एक सेंस ये निकल के आ रहा है, और जो शीर्ष स्तर से सेना के अधिकारियों को भी निर्देश दिए गए हैं, बहादुर जवानों की जो कुर्बानी है इसको व्यर्थ नहीं जाने दिया जाएगा। और निश्चित तौर पर इसका सीधा मतलब यही है कि जो लोग भी इस घटना के पीछे हैं, उन अपराधियों को, उन आतंकियों को कानून के शिकंजे में कैसे लाया जाए, वो पहली प्राथमिकता होगी। लेकिन कहा यह जा रहा है कि ये इंश्योर किया जाएगा कि जो नागरिकों की सुरक्षा और साथ ही बहुत साथ सुरक्षा बलों की भी अपनी सुरक्षा है, वो सुनिश्चित करते हुए इस पूरे मसले को लेकर आगे बढ़ा जा सके। आप लोग चर्चा कर रहे थे किस ग्रुप का हाथ हो सकता है या नहीं हो सकता। कई सारे आतंकी संगठन उस क्षेत्र में सक्रिय हैं, आपस में साझेदारी भी करते हैं, लेकिन जो सुरक्षा सूत्र जो उच्च स्तर के हमें ये बता रहे हैं कि वो जानते हैं कि इस घटना के पीछे कौन लोग शामिल हैं, किन लोगों का हाथ हो सकता है। तो निश्चित तौर पे अब उसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आगे बढ़ा जाएगा। साथ ही साथ जैसा हमने देखा था कि जब NDFBS ग्रुप ने असम में आदिवासियों पर आतंकी हमले किए थे, उसके बाद आर्मी और सुरक्षा बलों ने जो ऑपरेशन चलाया था, उसके बाद जांच के लिए जांच का मसला जो है पूरी तरह से NIA को सौंपा गया था। तो एक उम्मीद ये भी की जा सकती है उच्च स्तर पर चर्चा के बाद कि इस घटनाक्रम की जांच, क्योंकि ये एक आतंकी हमला है और एक संघीय अपराध की सूची में भी आता है, तो इसको जांच के लिए NIA को सौंपा जाए, इसको भी चर्चा जरूर चल रही है। निश्चित तौर पे आज या कल तक में इसके बारे में भी कोई फैसला आने की उम्मीद है।
Sudhakar, you've talked about that high-level meeting. Now, there are expectations that the army chief might be visiting Manipur. And when you're talking about the all-out offensive that has been launched to nab the perpetrators of this attack, Nandita was just talking about to us about the problems. The big problem was those porous borders. Looking at that, what kind of a challenge is it really going to be? And any more expectations of other ministers going to take stock of the situation there?
अभी तक प्रियंका इस बारे में कोई पुष्टि नहीं हुई है कि कौन विजिट करने के लिए जाएगा। निश्चित तौर पर उम्मीद जरूर की जा रही है कि सीनियर ऑफिशियल्स और सरकार की तरफ से भी विजिट हो सकता है किसी मंत्री का, लेकिन अभी पूरी तरह से इसकी पुष्टि नहीं हुई है। अभी पूरा ध्यान उस इलाके में जो कॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन जारी है, क्योंकि इस घटना को अंजाम देने के बाद ये उम्मीद जरूर की जा रही है कि बहुत ज्यादा दूर जो आतंकी हैं वो नहीं गए होंगे, लेकिन जिस तरह का टेरेन है उस पूरे इलाके का, उसमें निश्चित तौर पे मौसम की स्थिति, जो जवानों की और जो जवान बॉम्बिंग ऑपरेशन में लगे हुए उनकी सुरक्षा, इन तमाम चीजों को ध्यान में रखते हुए आगे बढ़ने की कोशिश है। लेकिन निश्चित तौर पे एक प्रतिबद्धता जरूर दिखाई दे रही है इस वक्त सरकार की तरफ से कि इस तरह के ग्रुप्स जो हिंसा कर रहा है, जिन्होंने इस तरह की घटना को अंजाम दिया है, उनसे बेहद सख्ती से निपटा जाए।
And Sudhakar, what about the challenges that could be faced looking at the kind of attack? This was the biggest attack or the worst attack on the army in the last 2 decades. The problems that our correspondent Nandita was talking about earlier, are those going to be a big challenge for the combing operation that you're talking about?
अच्छा, बिल्कुल प्रियंका, कैजुअलिटी का एक कारण ये भी हो सकता है कि क्योंकि कॉन्वॉय में सफर कर रहे थे, आईईडी ब्लास्ट किया गया, जो रोड गाड़ियां जो है आसपास ही चल रही थी, और उसके बाद एक कोऑर्डिनेटेड एफर्ट में ना सिर्फ आईईडी से ब्लास्ट किया गया, फिर उसके अलावा जो रॉकेट प्रोपेलेंट ग्रेनेड है वो चलाया गया और सोफिस्टिकेटेड वेपन से हमले भी किए गए। तो उसकी वजह से जो कैजुअलिटी है वो ज्यादा हुई है। लेकिन निश्चित तौर पे जानकारी हमें ये भी मिली है कि जो जवान हमारे वहां मौजूद थे वो उन्होंने बहुत बहादुरी से और काफी देर तक उनका मुकाबला भी किया। लेकिन निश्चित तौर पर वही समस्या आती है कि जो एक टेरेन है उससे उनको छिपने में या भागने में आसानी मिलती है। और निश्चित तौर पे सीमा पार से जब जिक्र आता है तो म्यांमार में, क्योंकि हमारा बॉर्डर जो है वो अनमैन्ड बॉर्डर है और उस तरह की फेंसिंग जैसी फेंसिंग बांग्लादेश बॉर्डर पर या पाकिस्तान बॉर्डर पे दिखती है, वो फेंसिंग म्यांमार बॉर्डर पे नहीं है। इसलिए इन आतंकवादियों को कहीं ना कहीं आसानी होती है आवाजाही करने में। और कई ग्रुप्स के बारे में हमको पता भी है जिन्होंने सीमा पार म्यांमार की तरफ अपने ठिकाने भी बना रखे हैं। लेकिन निश्चित तौर पे ये चैलेंजेस जरूर हैं, लेकिन इन चैलेंजेस को कैसे ओवरकम किया जाए, कैसे इन चुनौतियों का सामना किया जाए, ये हमारी सुरक्षा एजेंसियों को भी पता है। और जब ये पता है कि इस घटना के पीछे कौन लोग शामिल हो सकते हैं, तो निश्चित तौर पे आप उम्मीद कर सकते हैं कि जल्द ही इस घटना के अपराधियों को कानून के शिकंजे में लाया जा सकेगा।
और Sudhakar, we'll leave it there, but thanks for that update.